Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4, and today's sporting Northwest corner map, playing in blue representing Team Liquid. We've got Demu playing as the Byzantines, and his opponent in the southeast playing in red. We've got 3D Cat playing as the Malians. Welcome everyone to Coastal Cliffs, that's the map for today, and we have got a banger of a game. It's going to be game number 2 in this best of 3 of egctv's Elite Classic. And maybe this will be a classic game. Coastal Cliffs is maybe, I like to call it Baby Arabia. Reason for that is because it's kind of like dry Arabia, but it's not so dry. They do have water on the map, except you can't take it. It's a big tease, actually, I gotta say. Imagine being so thirsty, having the vision of all this water and you can't take it. Imagine that being so hungry. You have the vision of the fish, but you just can't take it. Either way, what the Malians can take are the pit mines. They get free gold because of that, passively. And what the Byzantines, what they can take is water, to be fair, from the sister network. That's what it's going to be doing to scale that economy. The Byzantines, their economy is very much focused around the cistern. Going to be getting that water level up. Currently water level 1, which is going to give them an additional 10% gather rate on those villagers. Very, very nice. As an income bonus. Coming on in, does also have access to Conscriptio. Now, I've mentioned this previously on casts, and it's such a nice way to scale the economy. The gather rate increases, and hand in hand, so does the production rate. And so, when you get to the castle age, you tend to have a decent water level up, and you start pumping out units. You've got a decent number of villagers, great economy. It can be a very scary civilization to go up against in the Byzantines in the castle age. The Malians, I think, are a fantastic civilization. They have access to plenty of unique units, whether it be the Donsos or the Javelin throwers in the feudal age, and they scales pretty decently into the castle age. They tend to then sprinkle in some Sopher. But they've got the access to the cow boom, which is such a population-efficient way to get food. And by the time in the castle age, it's such a great way. I mean, you get so much food when you go for the Grand Fulani Coral, which, I mean, I know I'm saying a lot of things in advance, but it tends to be that way. Grand Winery, the landmark of choice for the Byzantines. That's going to give them an additional 60% olive oil from gathering berries and the olive groves. Very nice indeed. Going to give them access to, well, a good number of mercenary units. Question is, what does he actually make with the Byzantines? Going up against the Malians, could he go for longbows? Could he go for javelin throws? Could he go for keshiks? It's a tough question because the Malians with the javelin throws and the Donso combination is such a strong army composition. It counters so much. I wonder what he'll opt for. Either way, speaking about opting for things, I'd like to say a very big thank you for everyone who has opted to support the channel, whether it be on YouTube or Twitch. You guys are absolute legends. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Especially those guys who've gone the extra mile and helped me keep on pumping out more content by being a YouTube channel member or Twitch subscriber. The support is super, super appreciated. Can't thank you guys enough. It's been a heck of a ride with Age of Empires 4, I've got to say. Since the beginning, growth has been good, and hopefully, I mean, I will take this opportunity to say that I am thinking about hosting, well, I'm not thinking about it, I already have, hosted a series of show matches. I've called it Farmy's Fight Club. And you could do exclamation mark FFC in the Twitch chat if you wish to find some more information. But yeah, basically show matches every so often between relatively high level players. Or top players, really, I should say. And yeah, it's a fun way to get some show matches in between, during the midweek, maybe in between egctv tournaments, because obviously we love to watch egctv. So, if they have a bit of downtime, sometimes keeps the thing ticking over a little bit. But also it's going to be supporting, say, top players, but not necessarily players that necessarily are in the S tier tournaments, such as the egctv tournaments. So it kind of keeps them a little bit active and, gives them a bit of prize money too. So something to keep your eyes peeled for. We had the first Farmy's Fight Club series a little while ago, a couple of days ago. It was between Crackety and Corvinus, two great, greatly admired community members, great players of Age of Empires 4 as well. So that was a great, great show match, and hopefully I can keep on doing that. We'll see. Command Quarry, the landmark of choice, of course, going to get 75 gold per minute because of it. Passively. I mean, the miners are all about passive income generation, right? Passive gold from the pit mines, passive gold from the Mansa Quarry, passive food from the cows. It's a really strong late game kind of situation with that, with the population efficiency. But having said that, at the same time, so do the Byzantines with the olive oil, like, again, population efficient. But also, they don't really rely on gold as much because of that. Double broadaxe coming in for the Malians. Bit of a ring around the rosy, around that gold vein. It's kind of funny. What's going on here? He's stopping the buildings of the houses, I suspect, and the pit mine. Wait, does that pit mine not go up because of that? That's kind of funny. Oh, it did go up now. Just got on the got out the tile range. But was level 2 coming up for Demu? That's going to give him an extra 4% gather rate on the villagers, so 14 in particular in total. And it's going to go for the Silk Road Mercenary contract, going to give access to the javelin throws to try and counteract the Malian ones in some ways. There's a barracks coming up, so going to go for Limitanic javelin throws. By the way, that is a very strong army composition. It's actually kind of disgusting, right? Because Limitani, they are... this is kind of a nice battle. Like, going Limitani versus Donso, like, the shield wall ability gives them 40% damage that they take less from ranged attacks, and, of course, the Donso actually technically do have a bit of a ranged attack on them, despite being a spearman unit. Being able to throw those javelins very nicely. Going to be building a cattle ranch for that fish boom. I was about to say fish boom. I'm clearly very hungry and looking for this fish here, but what I meant to say was cow boom. Starting off with double mill as well, so yeah, going to be aggressive on that front. Has got the archery range for some javelin throws of his own. Now bear in mind, one thing to consider is that the Byzantines, they have a decent kind of, they've got a decent feudal age. The reason I say that is because they've got a good economy behind this. You've got 14% gather rate, and also now 40% production from these buildings. It's very nice. Double arch range. Let's see, getting an outpost in that forward position. Now definitely this right side of the map is going to be a key area to look at because of course it's where the 2 pit mines are. I mentioned earlier as well by coastal cliffs being sort of baby Dry Arabia. It's because it's like Dry Arabia, but it's a bit more narrow, right? Because of the coastal and the cliffs taking up space on the map. Tall outpost does go up, village garrison aside, but shield wall is there, right? So these guys are tanking a bit. Moving further forward, Demu, look to try and get as much value as possible. Now, if you can deny gold, that's actually quite a critical thing because the gold is what's needed for the miners to get the cow boom running. Doesn't quite manage to get the villager, but does force the villagers inside a tall outpost. Going to get a barracks of his own now. So going to go for the Donsos. In fact, actually, I think he'll go for archers. Interesting play here. It's kind of funny, right? It's actually the miners go for the archers, and it's the Byzantines going for the javelin throwers. That's kind of a... It's obviously backwards, but it's cool to see. Villagers on berries. Going to get the nice olive oil too. Getting siege... Wait, siege engineering? Okay, we're going to see a feudal age push from Demu. We'll love to see it. He's going to try and get some value by taking out the pit mines and disruption a little bit. Trying to punish that double mill cow boom. Blacksmith coming up for some upgrades. Steel Dara coming in. Oh, I think he cancelled that actually. Wait, did he cancel it or did it already come in? Wait, what? Where is that blacksmith? We have to check that. We have to check that. Alright, yeah, it's already been coming in. Yep, Zithana, that's a good point. I'll change it after this one for sure. Thank you for reminding me. There's a third cistern coming up now. So going to get that water level up to level 3. That's going to give him 18% on the village gather rate. And also 60% on the production. Does have 2 cattle ranches, fully populated with the cows. Yeah, starting to build up the military forces. Going to get a Cairo Siphon, which is going to be tough to deal with, actually, for the Malians. Because he's got mostly ranged units, right? It's going to be tough to deal with. Got a couple of Donsos, but other than that, he spots it, though. He spots the Cairo Siphon. Javelin throw is going to get great value against the archers. The Limitani going to shield wall it up and tank a lot of the archer ranged attack fire. Slowly going to burn his way through here. The Cairo Siphon going to potentially even use the javelin throws to focus on the archers and the Donsos. And now the Limitani to get the torches out. And here it is. Here comes the big push. Donso's going to try and get a wrap around on the... Can't get too close to the Cairo Siphon. Look at that. And he's going to get burnt with that as well. I don't think that's a good fight from him at all. Javelin throws focusing the archers there on the back line. Demu macroing well. And those Limitani, I mean, they're pretty weak in numbers. Donsos are starting to get pushed off, though, for sure. Hardly any left. Villagers coming out to try and repair the tall outpost. Now if he can keep up the toilet, I don't think he's going to keep that up. I think that just goes down, unfortunately, and now the villagers have to get out of there. Going to potentially lose the house as well. This is a strong push here for Demu. Going to take out the house and then maybe the pit mine. Looking good because he's got both economy and production behind this because of the cistern water levels. Looking very good for him at the moment. Cap on the back ropes. Needs to try and reestablish a military presence. And look at these villagers. They're completely idle, right? The big issue for Cat, he's running out of gold. He's got 3 villagers in gold. He can't afford the gold for cow booms, and that's what's getting him stuck here. He could go for the right side, but it's very exposed. He's got a couple of villagers, but, you know, that's going to be next, right? You can see definitely, I can imagine Demu moving to the right side after this. Gets rid of the pit mine. Going to go for the couple of houses as well, because why not? He's looking good already. The timing on this is perfect. But Cat does have a couple of those javelin throws moving out now of his own. And hardened Donsos too. Thank you, Sniper. I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate it, my dude. Golden Horn Tower is going to go to the castle age behind all this. What the heck is going on? How the heck did he afford all that? It's massive. Going to go to the castle age. It's just done so much damage, right? Cat has been under pressure on gold for so long. And that eco is showing how powerful it can be. Now, the Donso is going to try and take the Kara Siphon. I mean, he's getting good damage from the javelin throws. Moves away from the Kara Siphon. Doesn't want to lose it too cheaply. Javelin throwers versus javelin throwers. Who can throw the javelin throw fast? Further? Oh my god, it's late for me. Words are trouble for me. But yeah, front line is already pretty much gone here for Cap. Limitane going to tank. Does have the shield wall ability. And I think Demu just has more. And if he loses the pit mine, that gold generation capacity is going to be disastrously low. Yeah, 230, which is really bad for the Malians, considering they're so dependent on that for the cow boom. He's going to have to go for more traditional food gathering sources. But either way, there's the castle age. Oh, the cat is under so much pressure. He's really struggling. Looks like he's just eating the cows at this point. Just keep the villagers active and working. He's losing houses as well, so he's struggling on wood. 4 houses. He's actually population capped at this point, I think. This is not looking good for him. Javelin throwers are starting to win that fight, though, a little bit. Demu has to back away, but it doesn't matter. He's done so much damage. Going to go for the pit mine and gold again, though, Cat. Re-establishing that gold income. Getting the houses again, but he's lost so much, right? Water level 3. Castle Age is in. He's going to get 3 units from the Golden Horn Tower. Great economy with the water level being at 3. Going to give him 18% gather rate. 60% production. It even has the ability to get the mercenary contract upgrade to the veterancy. Behind all this, he could even look to get some of the relics if he's got the wood for a monastery, which he probably will do. Yeah, he does already have it. I'd say that because he's got the monk out on the map already. Oopsie. That was not intended. Gonna extend that water level a little bit further. And connecting these dots up. Gonna give him water level 5. That's gonna be massive. He's so far ahead now. 3D Cat has got it all to do. Stuck in the feudal age for now. He's looking to try and get there, but again, that forward goal position, a real problem. Makes you wonder, like we did often see the play into Saharan Trade Network, which is a defensive landmark, instead of the Lancer Quarry. That used to be the old play style for the Malians, when they were put under a lot of pressure. Maybe we need to see that come back again, when you have forward gold spawns like this. That certainly would have helped. But of course, he did still get a decent amount of passive gold from that Lancer Quarry in any case. Coming with a second push. Most of the ringing guards going to be added in. Just going to be a heavily armoured unit. Difficult to deal with here for Cat. Although could potentially get some Musafadi warriors. Something that needs to be considered. Going to tech up. I mean, does it go with the Farumba Garrison at this point? I think he probably best goes with the Farumba Garrison, right? Oh, he's still going to go for the Grand Filana Coral. It's kind of stubble on this because he wants that food. I mean, it's understandable in a way because he's struggling on gold, right? So, from a garrison, how much would you be able to make anyway? Musafadi Warriors going to try and get on top of the Javelin Throws. Should actually decently get a wraparound potentially. No, the Limitane are there and the Marine Guards. I think the Marine Guards need to be careful. There's a decent number of Musafadi Warriors are heading back, and a lot of them going to get taken down on the retreat. Not looking good at all. So yeah, I think the choices were hard there. He could have gone for the Frimba Garrison, but doesn't really have the gold to really keep it active, and Grand Filani Coral is what he wanted for the food at least, but doesn't have that much in terms of cow boom because of the gold issue. Really, the way to stop the malians is to stop the gold, and it looks like 3D Cat rather, his teammate, is really struggling to stay in this game actively, because look at the trickle of units, just the sea of blue units trickling on through. Demu, up to 40 military versus 18, is going to lose this pit mine as well, and this is not looking good at all. He's pretty much cut off of gold. Now he's still getting a couple of cattle because of the passive gold generation from the Mounts of Quarry, but that's pretty much the gold that's coming in. He's actually population capped once again. He's going to need to make houses. He's going to have to spend that precious wood. Demu behind this, by the way. Water level 5. That's incredible. That's going to be an additional 26% extra village gather rate. And 100% production from those buildings. It's going to be devastating. I started to rebuild some houses, but these are going to be going soon. Got a lot of production around the back. Got a market to try and balance the economy as best as possible. He's trying to fight tooth and nail, of course. This is the Elite Classic after all. Lots at stake. A question in the chat: what map is this? This is called Coastal Cliffs. It's even got a couple of camel riders. That Cap does have the same age in terms of the castle age. Does have a similar number of villagers, but each villager here for the Byzantines just, well, 20%, 25, 26% better. Yeah, Cat's really struggling. He's losing infrastructure. Might not seem like a lot, but these units are chipping away. Oh, a couple of Mustafari warriors getting a bit of raiding. Gets one villager. That's the start. Small steps, baby steps. I think with a Limitani, he could probably just dive this with shield wall, and he's going to kill some of the cows on top of the ranches just to make things even terrible. I mean, the Grand Filoni Coral is barely doing anything for him now. Diving on in, Cat somehow needs to defend this position, fighting underneath the town centre. 15 villagers are garrisoning inside, trying to get as much value as they can, but it's up against javelin throwers, which barely take any damage. Up against Varangian guards that barely take any damage, and I tell you who has taken damage. 3D Cat in game number 1. He's taken massive damage. Demu taking the game with the Byzantines. Hope you guys enjoy this castle game on Coastal Cliffs. And that's only the first game in the set, so stick around if you want to watch game number 2.